In this video, you're going to learn top tips for running your next remote online meeting. Okay, John, you've written a brilliant blog about running successful virtual meetings, and you've got 10 rules there. First one, check your equipment. Tell us about that.
Oh, how many times have you sat across a video conference and you can see the mouth moving, but nothing's coming out? So you lose a heck of a lot of time, and it starts off maybe funny, but it gets frustrating really quickly. So if you haven't got your equipment set up in advance of the meeting, you end up wasting a heck of a lot of time of the meeting getting that stuff sorted out. So just take a little bit of time before that meeting and check your camera, make sure your hair looks good, that you've got the right things in place, that you haven't got anything, especially now where we're all working from home. You don't want something in the field of view of your camera that you don't want other people to see. So don't have your washing stand behind you, all of that sort of stuff. But make sure your mic's working and that you feel comfortable and relaxed. So that's kind of what I'm meaning when we're talking about checking the equipment. Make sure it's good to go.
Very good. Number two, catch up time.
Yeah, again, because we're all working remotely, it's not like you have the water cooler. You pass them in the hall, or you get them at the coffee machine, and you have a bit of a natter. Everyone's working remotely, so if you don't have a little bit of time set aside at the start of the meeting, what will happen is somewhere through the meeting, it will descend into a bit of a chinwag about things, and it'll go off the rails. So having that little time at the front just to catch up and say, well, how are you all doing? What's happening? How's the chaos in your house? Settles everybody down and gets those things out of the way and lets you just carry on with the meeting. So 5 minutes of that, and then say, right, we better get onto the topics. Let's go for it.
Brilliant.
Is important.
Number three, meeting chair or facilitator. What's the
Yeah, I mean,
importance of that?
this isn't different from any other meeting, whether you're there in person or not. Somebody has to run the meeting. If you don't, it's chaos. And it will be the same, only worse on your virtual meetings on video conference. Everyone's going to be talking over everybody. You might have a bit of lag. So the person who's going to chair that meeting, their job really is to control the flow of the conversation. So making sure that you're talking about the right things in the right order and the right people are talking. And also looking for the people who are not talking. It's even easier on the video to be quiet than it is in a room. So they've got a double job of kind of keeping things on track, but looking for who's not chiming in and making sure they're part of that session.
Mm-hmm. Number four, one at a time.
Yes, well, it's bad enough in a room when you've got 2 or 3 people talking at the same time, or 2 or 3 conversations going on at the same time. That doesn't work in video. It just makes a noise. So making the rule really quickly about, right, it's one person at a time, and it might be that I'll call you and ask and invite you into the conversation, or you've got some way of giving that nod, if you like. But trying to keep control of who's talking and getting one person talking is really important.
Yeah, great advice. Clarity.
This is one of my personal favourites about meetings the world over. So I compare it to watching TV. So you don't sit down to watch a show on TV and it starts out as a police drama and then halfway through turns into a stand-up comedy show and then the news. It's a little bit confusing, right?
Yeah.
It's the same with your meetings. So you have a meeting and you have to be clear about what the purpose of that meeting is. Is it a kind of 5-minute, 10-minute catch-up with the team for the start of the day to set everybody going? Is it a tactical meeting that you're going to talk about a specific subject or set of subjects within that? Or is it more of a strategic meeting that you're going to have? Each of those different meetings that you want to have and should have even over virtual meetings, but don't mix them. Even if it's the same team, separate them out so that everybody's really clear about what you're going to talk about, and it also lets them prepare for the meeting. There's nothing worse than coming into a session and not being able to contribute because you haven't had that time to get your information together or get your head into that area.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, that's a fantastic one. Number 6, record things.
Record things. So one of the great things about virtual meetings, about video conferencing is you can record it. So what that means is instead of having everybody have to write notes and keep track of everything that's going on, you can just have that conversation and really let it flow. At the end of it, you've got a recording, so you can share that recording with your team, depending on what system you're using. If you're using Microsoft Teams, for instance, we'll record it for you and automatically stick it into Microsoft Stream for you, which lets you build up your own library of these are all the recordings of the meetings. People can go in and see what was discussed, and you can go in later on and capture the real actions that have come out, the real talking points as well. So I guess it's, on one hand, my lean hat on says, oh, it's a bit of rework, but the benefits in the short term, until everyone gets used to it, are huge.
No, great idea. Number 7, capture, assign, and track actions.
Yep. So as I said, that's one of the benefits of recording it. You're not going to miss the actions that you're putting out. But as a follow-up to your session, you do have to mail out, these are the actions that we've taken, and this is who's going to do them, and this is how we're going to track them. And there are a myriad of ways of tracking them. So, Office 365, you can use Microsoft Planner, you could use any number of online tools for keeping track of them. So track your actions, and it helps with that accountability. And if everybody can see the actions and everybody can see it real time as well, then it really just helps keep people on track. And it's really easy if you're working at home to think, well, I'll maybe not just do stuff today. I'll go and have a cup of tea instead. I'll maybe watch a bit of TV, and suddenly that action is late. So it will just help keep people on track, and it gives them a focus as well. And that's really important in the situation that we're in at the moment, is having something to give you a focus.
Yeah, exactly. Number 8 is keeping it simple.
Keep it simple, yeah. Don't have a 2-hour session if you can do it in 10 minutes. So really focus on that one type of meeting and focus on the things that you want to have. Don't let it wander on into all sorts of different avenues. Just focus on the topics that you've got at hand, knock them out, and then close down the meeting and let people carry on.
Yes, this is always a bane of my life, is that people will say, oh, come for a 30-minute meeting or a 1-hour meeting. That's purely because the calendar is set in half hours or 1-hour sessions.
That's right.
It's just have the meeting.
Yeah, it's right up there with the meetings always start at 9 o'clock or 15:15. Actually, if and you always have people who turn up late for your 9 o'clock, your 10 o'clock meeting. If you have your meeting at 10:05, people won't be late. And the other one is people having, again, in the virtual side of things, it's even more, that I've got a 10 o'clock meeting that will go to 11 o'clock, and then I've got an 11 o'clock meeting that's going to go to 12 o'clock. Guess what? The 10 o'clock meeting, people are going to be late for the 11 o'clock meeting. So part of that keeping it simple is also thinking about what's the overlap in people's calendar. It's not a competition. You don't have to fill the calendar.
Excellent. Encourage catch-ups. What's that about?
Yep. So there are, again, you can do it in video, you can do it in chat, but it's about encouraging your team to have those catch-ups outside the meeting. So this is in part it's the water cooler chat. It's how you doing, and keeping the chat, keeping that kind of social interaction going, which is really important. But it's also, there's lots of little things that kind of pop up where you can have an email about it, and a lot of people do. But if you can have a quick 30-second or 2-minute video chat about it, you get to see the people's face, you get to see the reactions, and you can pick up the body language, and you're going to get a much better result. So encouraging those really quick, let's have a quick 5-minute chat about this, is really important. And it also helps kind of people bond and support each other as well through what's going on. They can vent a little bit more face to face than they can over email.
Perfect. And the final one, number 10, was a controversial one, John. No food. What's that about?
No food. Do you want to hear me eat over the microphone? I don't know about you, but
what about having a cup of tea? Is that all right?
Well, again, slurping cup of tea. Yeah. So, the great thing about my headset is I've got a button here that puts it on mute. So if you are going to have a slurp of tea, that's fine. Do that.
Mute yourself.
Mute it. But you're on video. And so most
Yeah.
people don't want to see a headshot of you chomping down on your banana or your chocolate cake or whatever it is. It's not going to look good.
No.
So forego the food, block out a little bit of time in your calendar after the meeting to have your munchies and do that.
Excellent. Wow. Okay, thanks, John. Much appreciated. That's really good value. Appreciate that.
No worries.
Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed that, why don't you click on the link here and look for other ideas for making improvements to your business.